Hello guys, this is Dr. Lior Bar-El. Today I'm going to be talking to you right now. Obviously E3 right now is starting to kick off. So EA actually had an entire entire show segment dedicated to them, and based on what I've seen, first off, I'm just going to start off by saying extremely lackluster, extremely safe, but some very great news, and I'm going to get to that right now. Okay, now in terms of the Nintendo Switch, because obviously I really want to see what's coming out for the Switch, there's a lot of hope I have that will come out for the Switch, but we're going to go over the entire thing in general, okay, right now. Okay, first off, one of the major things that was the aces in the hole in EA was Anthem and Battlefield 5. Okay, so first off, I'm going to start with Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 showed a lot of promise based on what I saw. In fact, they're competing with Call of Duty a little. You know, you could kind of see that thing. They always kind of do. The truth of the matter is I always was a Call of Duty fan. I am a Call of Duty fan, but found it extremely repetitive. And the last one was extremely, went far away from everything that I really loved about Call of Duty. And I wasn't a real big fan of it. I mean, for a stage or two, I was like, whatever. I wasn't really a big fan. Now Black Ops is coming out, the newest Black Ops in the series. And you know what? I'm looking forward to the new Call of Duty. I want to see what they have to offer. But right now, in terms of a first-person shooter, one that I gotta say that I've been waiting for a very long time is Battlefield 5. For the first time, it's going to be so damn interactive that tanks actually roll through buildings. I was actually surprised. I mean, could you imagine? You're playing even on online. You're standing there and you're kind of hiding from everything, and then a tank flushes you out by breaking through your building and you're on a run. Or you could actually move things. It became so freaking interactive. You could smash through windows, go through windows and smash through them and take down your enemy. These things just add more, interest to me in the game. The more interactive it is, the more realistic it is. And I think for VR experiences, once they come out, once it becomes a little mainstream, people are going to want to see a little bit more of that interactive thing. I mean, how many of us go into games and we're like, come on, man, like that the new Final Fantasy game that came out where you're like jumping and you're like, come on, man, I could jump over this damn stupid hill and for some reason I can't go over it. Or, oh, if I had a tank, all these people in that tank, I wouldn't bother taking them out one by one. I'd run that freaking tank through the, through the bottom of it or something and completely destroy it. The whole building falls down and topples. Or let's say a bunch of people were firing at you from a building. You could smash right through the building, run them all over. These kind of things, or smash through, instead of shooting them through the window, you could actually smash through the window and take them out with like a James Bond, rush hour Blade kind of move. And it's always really frustrating when you're playing first-person shooter that's supposed to be a game that, games that immerse you into the environment and into the battlefield. Meanwhile, you can't do anything. So this becomes extremely more interactive. There's so many things that you can actually do with it. So I'm totally looking forward to it. I don't see Call of Duty topping it in that situation. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see what they have to offer. But I'm really looking forward for the first time in a long time for Battlefield 5. I really am. So I think that right off the bat is extremely awesome. Now, there wasn't any talk about any microtransactions or, loot boxes and so on and so forth. So we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, what they said is it's going to be through, there isn't going to be any loot boxes or any type of things like that. Maybe they'll have some microtransactions for things like cosmetics or costumes or whatever and so on and so forth. But there's not going to be any premium pass, any of that. So for the first time ever, we're going to be getting for the first time in a long time, we're going to actually get a real game, which is a completed game that we can play and be proud of. I think that's what EA is doing right now. They realize how much they screwed up with the loot boxes on Battlefront, how much they screwed up with that in the Star Wars franchise, and how they completely killed it. And also on Lord of the Rings, what is it? And I was playing it. I should be ashamed of myself. Shadow of Mordor. So they realized all of these things. and they're kind of going away from it. So I really dig that. I really dig that they came out and said there's not going to be any loot boxes. Still, not much talk about microtransactions, but we'll see where this goes. And there's no premium edition or anything like that. I mean, premium pass. It's going to pretty much be a complete game. So I'm really looking forward to that. I don't see Call of Duty also topping that, so we'll see how that is. Also, they're actually putting what I was dreaming about for a very long time already, Battle Royale mode. Okay, now I'm sure all of us love that, and the fact that they're going to be actually employing this into the franchise is just incredible. I am so looking forward to Battlefield 5. I have never looked forward to a first-person game, a first-person shooter in a very long time. Obviously, with Call of Duty being extremely repetitive, and then they go completely out of whack with the sci-fi garbage. But because of that, I wasn't really, I'm not that much, even though I love first-person shooters, I stayed close to Doom and Wolfenstein. They're my favorite. But the games that I really loved of Call of Duty, I was playing the remastered edition. I didn't really care much for the new one, even though I beat it. But it is cool that Battlefront right now, we have something to look forward to, something that's so interactive, something that we know are going to get a complete game, not a half-assed game where we have to pay a bunch of money for. Again, no discussion of microtransactions. There might be for customization of, let's say, costumes or whatever, so they might be, you never know. Second thing we're going into right now is FIFA. FIFA 18 is going to have an update coming out for the World Cup. I'm not much of a FIFA guy. I do like playing it from time to time. I'm not really a big fan of theirs, but I love playing these soccer games from time to time with friends and so on and so forth. So maybe I'm not reading too much into it, but they are going to have microtransactions. They are going to have loot boxes, I'm sure, because EA is making a ton of money. No one's complaining on the FIFA end of the spectrum. So for when FIFA 19 is coming out, whenever the hell that'll be, that's going to have major impacts through for their sales, because they're actually going to do well on their loot boxes and everything, because that's what they do and nobody bitches about it. So I mean, that's what they're going to have. There's also been a major talk about this thing called Origin Access Premier on Cloud subscription. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, I know I'm going to get some mixed reviews from a bunch of you guys, and I want to hear down in the comments below. Obviously, I don't like to hear my own blowhole talk in here, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. But the thing is, I am all for that, for the Origin Access Premier, and I'm going to tell you why. For example, when I have Adobe products, I work a lot with visual effects. I work a lot with doing, commercials for, in movie theaters and so on and so forth. So I like playing around a lot with visual effects and all that stuff. And it pissed me off every time, even with the upgraded price, when I have to go from the Adobe, when it was CS5 to CS6. When it went on the cloud, some people are like, well, I love to have it forever, But the truth of the matter is, everything goes out of date really quick. And I always like to have that option where I'm paying a subscription. I mean, it would be cool if you had an option to buy or that. But I really liked having that option from a professional standpoint. Now, if I wasn't a professional, and I'm just doing it for my own personal, things or whatever, I wouldn't care. I would want something, really, I would, for something I could keep forever instead of paying a subscription fee. But for these things, I really dug having a subscription fee that I can actually pay and get new ones and new ones and new ones as new ones come out, instead of paying $400, $500, $600 every time a new one comes out. And I can use it and take it away. If I'm not working on a project, I don't want it, and I don't have to pay the subscription fee for it. If I'm working on a project, I do pay the subscription fee. And this is why I'm really digging what EA is doing here. Because when you look at it, all of these games, even now basketball is coming out, and we'll get into that as well, but all the FIFA games, all these things that have, like 2K, for example, 2K16, 2K18, 2K19, it's the same crap, just with a little bit of a new roster, updated things, and so on and so forth, but not really much in the technicals, not really much in terms of improvement in graphics, not really much as like a new game being made. So why should you have to pay another $60? Wouldn't it be cool to just pay a subscription fee where you pay a year or whatever, or 2 years, and every time get the updated one and keep playing it? Now, if you don't want to play it, you don't pay anymore. You beat the first one or whatever, play your seasons, and get out of there. But if you're a person, or let's say if you buy the full version. But let's say you're a person like me who always wants to play the updated version of, let's say, Madden, or you want to play the updated version of, let's say, the 2K, basketball games. You're not gonna, you know you're going to get that new one. Why waste your money? Isn't it better to just pay a subscription fee and just get a brand new game right after that instead of all of these things and so on and so forth? So FIFA obviously is going to have their microtransactions. I don't see that the basketball game, again, it might. They didn't really talk much about it. But that's what we're going to go right now into that. But I would rather have a subscription service, and I think it's going to be great. To be honest, it depends on the cost. I don't see it costing that much. I mean, right now, Nintendo Switch has $20 a year. Now, obviously, other companies are charging far more. But I want to see how much is it to see if it's actually worth it. But if it is a small fee, or even $40 or even $60, I would like the fact that I can be able to play any game on this market. Now, you could go into what's called the Vault, they said, and play all the past games and like hundreds of games. So it's not just waiting till the next one comes out, because obviously a year till the next one comes out. But you'll be able to play all the sports game for that fee, all of the games that EA has for that fee, or even back games on the Vault. I think that can be incredibly beneficial to each and every one of us. I mean, that's just probably me talking here. I'd like to hear your comments down below on that as well. Another game that came out that kind of pissed me off, and I'm going to tell you about it. EA right now is doing a lot of good things, especially for the independent market. So what do I mean by that? Anybody that's coming out with games or new developers, they're giving them a chance and a platform by investing in them. They pretty much, I don't think they make much money off it. They give them all the profits, but at the same time, I think they have rights that if the game does launch, they have the right that they can buy it off you or something like that. But they're giving them such a platform that it's really incredible. And I wasn't really much of an Unravel fan, but Unravel 2 that's coming out right now is extremely, extremely promising. I looked at it and I fell in love with it. When I saw it, I said, this is such a Nintendo Switch release. But unfortunately, it's not. It's coming out for all the systems, including PC. But it's not, they did sign a trademark for the Nintendo Switch, but there was no talk about it coming out for the Switch. I think that's really stupid on EA's part. Again, EA doesn't really want to work with Nintendo. As I told you before, they kind of wanted to see how their sales are going and everything is going, and then they'll make their decision from there on in. That being said, since last week and this week, pretty much on Monday, Nintendo stock went it crashed a little down, went down. Every stock goes up and down, but due to a lot of problems, I think that's probably the reason why EA and a bunch of other third-party developers are a little bit careful on what they're putting their eggs in, what basket they're putting it. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I do see, I mean, they signed the trademark for it, so most likely it will come out probably later. I'm really liking it. It kind of reminds me of Little Planet on the PlayStation Vita, and I loved Little Planet. So it kind of gave me that kind of look. The backgrounds were, it's a 2D game, but the backgrounds were so like 3D-ish kind of looking. Very nice. They see like a rooster or something coming after them, and you see him in the background. It looks kind of spooky and awesome. And I love the way the developer, these new developers are talking. They're very philosophical. Like this one was about love, and then they came out with SOS, and we'll get into that, where the woman was talking and just basically crying on stage. So a lot of these real, true artists, as I call them, extremely true artists, actually, are putting in their love and their soul behind these games, and it's just incredible to see that. And I do hope that we will see Unravel 2, and definitely check that game. They're gonna play it later on or something. They had some gameplay, so check that out on YouTube or anywhere. You guys will, I can almost guarantee you guys will like it. It looks extremely challenging. It kind of reminds me of that Brother game, Brother Max, or whatever it was, Max, on the Nintendo Switch. That kind of graphics. I just really like it. I think it's really cool. The other one is Sea of Solitude, aka SOS. This was the one that was that came out where this girl, due to being lonely and due to anger and all those things, she turned into a monster. And the artist who made her was talking, who made the game was talking. She was basically almost like crying on stage, hyperventilating, really. She put her heart behind it, and she said that she was in that kind of depression and in that kind of world. And the whole point of the game is to basically accept your downfalls, accept all your things, and kind of balance them out. And eventually that monster could turn into a human being. It's really nice philosophy behind these games, but to see these artists, especially me, a person who really adores art, and the artiste, I really like to see those kind of stories, you know, because that's what video games really is to me. That's really an art. You know, it's an art. It's not just something of amusement for me. It's not just entertainment. I look at it as an art altogether. You know, it's just a beautiful art, and to have those souls behind it, and it looks, the game looked incredible. It's called Sea of Souls. SOS. Definitely look that up. It's just, it seems like a real amazing game that you go into deeper. I think this will also help a lot of people out with depression. You know, as a person who gives a lot of I do a lot of counseling work to my clients, of course, to get them through depression, anxiety disorder. I have videos on my channel about that as well. If you guys want to look at it, you know, share that video with anybody. Even take credit for what you learned from it and teach someone else. I just want people to break out of depression. I've taught many people to leave suicide, horrible suicides that are occurring today, and you know, and a lot of depression, and to take people out of that. It's just, it's one of the most amazing things in the world, and definitely look back on that. I really think this can be, from a psychologist point of view, it could be a very, very good thing for a person to play and say, oh my God, well, look at this. I'm relating to this person. She's lonely. She's feeling anger. I feel like I'm a monster. I feel like I'm worthless. I feel horrible. And then suddenly see how this game actually has some moral, you know, story to it that teaches you something, and you could kind of get together and kind of break out of that anxiety. I think this would be really, really good. And in terms of the psychology field, you know how everybody loves to blame video games for every little thing that goes wrong, even though it has nothing to do with it. But whatever. This would be a good game, definitely, I think, that would benefit humanity in such a positive light, and would benefit the view on games in general in a positive light. So that's what I have to say about that. Then, of course, the announcement of NBA Live 19, which I was a little bit surprised, because I thought 2K mastered that, even though I hate 2K, but I thought they mastered that entire, you know, they cornered that market. But I'm so happy Live is actually coming out. I don't remember... I don't think they said anything about microtransactions, but if FIFA is doing it, I hope and pray to God they don't do it with the NBA game, especially if they're coming out with the live one and want to make a difference. Make it without these stupid loot boxes and microtransaction garbage, unless you want to do like put Jordan in there, Michael Jordan, you know, buy him or whatever. Then I'm fine with that. But I'm saying to have a person more powerful in the game or something like that, I really hope they stay away from that garbage because it really ruins the fun. It's kind of like the hacking community, where a hacker comes into and becomes immortal and beats the hell out of everyone. It ruins the experience for everybody. And really, and EA, I'm sure, learned their lesson, because you're seeing them leaving the microtransaction loot box garbage, except for FIFA. But everything else looks like it's kind of moving away from it. Then you have, of course, Star Wars Jedi Fallen, or Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is going to take place between episode 3 and 4. Here's the beauty. Even though they made some announcement to put the solo characters in it for the new Battlefield, they're going to have an update for that and everything. So obviously, you know, they're doing away with this microtransaction crap because they saw how horrible it is. This guy, the representative of the company, he looks exactly like from Edge and Christian on WWE. He came out and basically said that we know what we did was mad stupid. He didn't say that, though. It was an understatement what he said. But he said we know we basically screwed up, in a nutshell. What we did wasn't really popular, and we heard the fans for the first time, which is great. We'll see if they do. And they took away, you know, they're kind of, you'll see, they're going away from these microtransaction bullshit. And I'm really, really happy. I just don't see them going with another Battlefield. This is why... Battlefront. This is why they made an announcement for the update, but then an announcement for a brand new game altogether called Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Okay, so I think they're going to be away from the Battlefront thing from now, for all the bad publicity, you know, all the horrible PR, and they're going to go into this new game and try to open up a new page. This time listening to the fans. And this, of course, is going to come out in holiday, but not this holiday, but holiday of 2019. So it's like 2 years, it feels like. So he didn't really talk that much about it, but basically, I think this is going to be their it's their time to you know, to turn a new leaf, and I think that's what EA is going to be doing with that whole thing. Then, of course, the new release that's coming out, which we already knew, Madden 19. Now, I love the Madden games. I don't know about you guys. Comment down below what you guys think of that. And the last time I got my chance on a Madden game, Madden game on handheld was on the PlayStation Vita, which was, I think it was 2013. This baby looks like it's coming to the Switch. So to be able to play Madden on the Switch, on the go, is incredible. And again, like, this is part of their EA thing, but I don't think it'll work out for the Switch that way. But for the computer, at least, or for whatever system, you never know. If you pay for that access, Origin Access Premier, you'd be able to play all the new Maddens or whatever and all the games on EA anyway. But that game would be so cool to have on the go. I'm just, you know, incredibly amazed by, you know, the fact that we're going to have that possibly on the, for sure, on the Switch. That we'll be able to play it on the go. I'm just totally looking forward to it. Again, I don't know about the microtransactions. I don't know about that. They didn't make any announcement on that. But it looks to me like the sports games, due to FIFA still being a big moneymaker, nobody bitches or complains about it. It looks like it will be all across the platform for the sports games, at least. And then, of course, the game that we all been waiting for, Anthem. And I was waiting in this thing, and I'm like, when are they coming out? Oh, this game must suck. Because guess what? They didn't have any gameplay footage, and then suddenly they surprise you with a gameplay footage. And not only that, they surprise you completely, because I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so going to have loot boxes and what do you call it, microtransactions all over it. It looks like one of those games. And the game looks extremely breathtaking, and I love the fact that they put this arcade style behind it where the numbers pop up as you're killing people. It shows the points or whatever, and all of that. That looks so incredible. It looks amazing, and I urge you guys to check that game out. But the thing is, I kept saying, you know, this is going to have a ton of microtransactions. This is going to have a ton of loot boxes, because it looked like it. And then they come out and say, not only show you the gameplay and how awesome it is, but they go ahead and say, well, guys, guess what? There's not going to be any microtransactions on this bitch. Only for cosmetics, they're going to have no loot boxes on this thing. But we're going to, you know, they're going to have probably microtransactions for some cosmetics, they said. Again, cosmetics doesn't make a difference. I don't care about cosmetics. So I really like the fact that they actually have it. And they came out and surprised again with a surprise. I thought this was going to come out in around April. It's coming out on February 22nd. Released only for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. I hope and pray to God they come out with this thing for the Nintendo Switch. I would love to play that on the go. I just think, you know, it is what it is, but I really would like that. And for February 22nd, I don't know if they're going to come out with that on the 22nd, but please take your time, Nintendo. If you are going to come out with it, don't be so fast to give it a green light like you did with WWE 2K18 and ruin the experience for everybody, or even the basketball game that came out and you ruined the experience when it was out of sync, and then, of course, they corrected it later on and everything's great, but the WWE game's still in a total, you know, it's totally a big mess. So we don't want that. Take your sweet ass time doing it. Take your time, and then you know, release us a great game. If you could come out with Anthem, that would be amazing. I could still see it. If you make it from the ground up, it is so possible to do it. Even, you know, because the graphics looked great, but it didn't look over the top. It looks like something that, you know, would operate really well on the Switch. At least I think so. And I really think that's going to be really, really cool. So a lot of things coming out from EA. I do think they played it really safe. It was extremely lackluster, but I am really liking that new leaf of theirs. I am really, because I enjoyed 2K games, and I really hated it when they started coming out with this loot box garbage. And I'm really liking it that now they're steering away from it. So, and the fact that they're coming out with a new Star Wars, I really do believe it's their new leaf, that they want to get away from the negative PR and start to release games that we actually love. And I'm really looking forward to that a ton. Anyways, as always, self-funded here. I do nothing but honest reviews. The only thing I ask is, down in the comments below, I want to hear what you guys have to say about any games you wish to come out by EA. I'm going to be following it up. Obviously, I'm going to come out with this right now. We're going to release this, and every day I'm going to be doing, due to EA. Tomorrow I might be a little late. I'm going to a wedding, but you'll get the whole rundown from me from all of that. Basically, the only thing I ask is that you like, share the video, subscribe, and hit that bell button. It's very important you hit the subscribe and bell button and the like, as The bell button will alert you of things to come, and also the subscription goes, you know, hand in hand. It'll alert you of new videos to come, and the like just tells me that you like the video. And that I'm doing a good job for you guys. As always, I'm always trying to improve here. I'm self-funded, obviously. I'm not, look where I am. So, nothing in the background going interesting. I just give honest reviews, and I call it like it is. But if any improvements you guys have, comment down below. Let me know. I'm definitely looking forward to improving every little thing, and there's always room for criticism, and I can take it how it is. Anyways, love you guys. Have a good one. Hope this gave us some hope for EA, at least. And I definitely am looking forward to Anthem, I think, above all of them, and Battlefield 5. Those are two games that I am, you know, looking forward to extremely. And you know what? I'm going to say Star Wars Jedi Fallen, what is it? Jedi Fallen Order. I'm looking forward to that as well. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.